When it comes to brunch, there's something undeniably special about blending classic comfort food with a dash of rugged frontier flair. Imagine a brunch table not weighed down with delicate pastries or dainty tea sandwiches, but instead boasting a hearty, robust centerpiece, one that calls to mind open skies, wild horses, and the bold spirit of the American West. Today, we're saddling up for just such a meal. Get ready to cowboy up your brunch with an amazing quiche recipe that's packed with flavor, texture, and a little bit of that untamed cowboy soul. Quiche, that beloved savory pie hailing from France, is often associated with refined brunches and elegant gatherings. But in the hands of a cowboy, or anyone who appreciates bold flavors and satisfying fare, it transforms. Out with the mild cheeses and delicate fillings, in with smoky bacon, spicy peppers, sharp cheddar, and the rustic charm of caramelized onions. This is a quiche that refuses to fade into the background. It's hearty enough to fuel a day of riding the range, yet just as fitting for a lazy Sunday morning with friends and family. Let's start by talking about what makes a cowboy-inspired quiche stand out. First, it's about the ingredients. The classic quiche Lorraine leans on bacon and Swiss cheese, but our version will be a celebration of the flavors that make Western cuisine so beloved. Think of the sizzle of bacon or sausage, the bite of jalapenos, the richness of sharp cheddar, and maybe even the earthiness of black beans or the sweetness of roasted corn. The crust is golden and flaky, reminiscent of the kind of pie crust that would make any home cook proud. And the filling? Creamy, cheesy, and bursting with flavor. But before we dive into the recipe, let's take a moment to appreciate the versatility of quiche. One of its greatest strengths lies in its ability to adapt. Whether you're working with leftovers, garden-fresh vegetables, or the last few slices of cheese in the fridge, quiche welcomes them all. This cowboy quiche is no exception. It's a canvas for whatever ingredients you have on hand, making it the ultimate brunch dish for resourceful cooks and flavor seekers alike. Now, let's wrangle up those ingredients. For the crust, you can make your own from scratch if you're feeling ambitious, or use a store-bought pie crust to save time. No judgment here, partner. For the filling, you'll need a half pound of thick-cut bacon or sausage, a small red onion, a red bell pepper, a jalapeno for a spicy kick, a cup of sharp cheddar cheese, and a handful of fresh cilantro or chives. The custard base will be a mix of fresh eggs, whole milk or cream, and a touch of salt and pepper. Want to go full cowboy? Toss in a spoonful of smoky chili powder or cumin, or scatter in some black beans and roasted corn for a Tex-Mex twist. Begin by preheating your oven and blind baking your crust if needed. This step ensures a crisp, golden foundation that stands up to the rich, creamy filling. While the crust bakes, get to work on the heart of the quiche, the filling. Chop the bacon or sausage into bite-sized pieces and cook until browned and crisp. Remove with a slotted spoon and drain on paper towels, leaving a bit of the flavorful fat behind in the skillet. To that, add your sliced onions, bell pepper, and jalapeno. Sauté them slowly, coaxing out their natural sweetness and allowing the edges to caramelize just a little. This step adds depth and complexity, transforming humble ingredients into something extraordinary. Once the vegetables are soft and fragrant, stir the cooked bacon or sausage back in. Off the heat, sprinkle in the cheese and herbs, and give everything a good toss. Spoon this mixture evenly into the prepared pie crust, spreading it out so every bite will have a little bit of everything. Now, in a separate bowl, whisk together your eggs and milk or cream. Season generously with salt, pepper, and your chosen spices. Pour this custard over the filling, letting it settle into all the nooks and crannies. If you're feeling extra indulgent, scatter a bit more cheese on top. Slide your quiche into the oven and let it bake until the top is golden. The center is just set, and the aroma is irresistible. As it cools, the filling will firm up, making it easy to slice and serve. Now comes the best part. Gathering around the table, cowboy boots optional, and digging into a quiche that's as bold and satisfying as a sunrise on the open range. But the flavor journey doesn't have to end there. This cowboy quiche is the perfect base for customization. For a smoky twist, swap out some of the bacon for smoked brisket or shredded barbecue chicken. Add a few spoonfuls of your favorite salsa to the custard for a zesty kick, or layer in some roasted green chiles for an authentic Southwestern vibe. If you're feeding a crowd, bake the quiche in a larger dish, or make individual mini quiches for easy serving. And don't forget the toppings: a dollop of sour cream, a sprinkle of fresh herbs, or a spoonful of tangy hot sauce can take each slice to the next level. Quiche is also one of those magical dishes that taste just as good, if not better, at room temperature. That means you can make it ahead of time, freeing you up to enjoy the company of your guests or savor a quiet moment with a cup of coffee. Leftovers keep beautifully in the fridge, ready to be reheated for a quick breakfast, a satisfying lunch, or even a midnight snack. In fact, some might argue that a cold slice of cowboy quiche, eaten straight from the fridge, is one of life's simple pleasures. What makes this quiche truly special, though, is the way it brings people together. There's something about a homemade pie, savory or sweet, that speaks of hospitality, generosity, and a willingness to share. When you set a cowboy quiche on the brunch table, you're not just serving food. You're inviting your friends and family to slow down, dig in, and enjoy the moment. It's a dish that feels both celebratory and down to earth, perfect for marking special occasions or brightening an ordinary weekend. Of course, no cowboy-inspired brunch would be complete without a few side dishes to round out the meal. Consider serving your quiche with a simple green salad tossed in a tangy vinaigrette, a bowl of fresh fruit, or crispy roasted potatoes. For a true taste of the West, offer homemade buttermilk biscuits or cornbread on the side. And if you're feeling adventurous, whip up a batch of cowboy beans or skillet-fried potatoes to add an extra layer of heartiness. To wash it all down, you can't go wrong with a steaming mug of strong coffee. Or, for those looking to indulge, a spicy Bloody Mary or a sparkling mimosa. The beauty of brunch is in its flexibility, allowing you to mix and match flavors, textures, and drinks to suit your mood. As the meal winds down and the last crumbs of quiche disappear, take a moment to savor the satisfaction that comes from feeding yourself and your loved ones well. This cowboy quiche isn't just a recipe. It's a celebration of bold flavors, creative cooking, and the timeless joy of sharing good food. Whether you're a seasoned home cook or a kitchen novice, this dish is sure to earn a permanent place in your brunch repertoire. So the next time you're planning a weekend gathering or simply looking to spice up your breakfast routine, remember that brunch doesn't have to be fancy to be memorable. With a few simple ingredients and a spirit of adventure, you can transform an ordinary quiche into a show-stopping centerpiece worthy of the Wild West. Cowboy up your brunch, embrace the flavors of the frontier, and get ready to enjoy a meal that's as unforgettable as the open range itself.